Who do you think you are? That's the metaphysical question of the day. What makes you you? It's about your character. Truly, this lesson is about character development. And character is a moral or an ethical quality. It's a distinguishing feature of who we are. It's about our uniqueness. Now, the word character has been used in many ways. My dad, when he was describing somebody that maybe was a little bit off, he said, that guy is a real character. That meant he was odd or eccentric. The Catholic Church has a definition also of this whole idea of being a character. And a character is a distinctive mark, it's an imprint on the soul, it's a special spiritual identity that one gets through baptism, through confirmation, through ordination. So character is understood by many in many ways, but it comes from the Greek originally, which means to engrave. So you can get the idea that your character is being engraved. It's something that is developing permanence about you. So today, when we speak of a person of character, it's somebody who's trying to express their best while always trying to become even better, a better person. We understand it in unity as consciousness, or the sum of our thoughts, our beliefs, our attitudes, that all of these things create our character. We speak in unity of our uniqueness, our individuality, our spirit. Our soul is continuing to develop. It can grow, it can actually diminish. That's our consciousness. But our spirit, that is our eternal, universal fingerprint. We are unique. There was no one else exactly like you. So it's about individuality. It's about the spirit of who we are. We are seeking to be the best expression of the divine that we can be. So it's up to us to deepen our awareness of what that is and what that means. Truth is, we're not all using the truth of who we are to the fullest extent. We have a greater capacity, much more than we are currently demonstrating. You probably have certain things that you do quite well, and even those you could develop more fully. Maybe you're great at music or art, or maybe you like to build things, or maybe you're a fantastic cook. Well, part of your character is being defined by how you are developing these things. Maybe you can write or speak or inspire. Maybe your true character blessing is to be able to listen to others, to counsel them. We all have many things we're capable of being. And it's up to us to develop our character. So let's look at the inner qualities that you have that may need greater expression. Now, we talk all the time about the 12 powers. The 12 powers of man, which was a book written by our co-founder of Unity, Charles Fillmore. We have each one of these powers: faith, imagination, judgment, order, power, zeal. We have all of these powers, but we each have individual qualities, individual ability on how we use these powers. That is our uniqueness. Some of us might express great faith very easily. Others might have an incredible imagination. Others know how to use their judgment in positive ways. Others have deep understanding, not only cognitive understanding, but spiritual understanding. See, we each have tools that have been given to us to help us develop more of who we came here to be. So we develop these things with commitment, with openness, with courage, hopefully with some humor, some faith, love, intuition, strength, humility, which is teachability, willingness, resilience. These are the ways that we embody these truths, these powers, these gifts that we have within, and then we seek to express them in the best of ways. And we stumble along the way. It's part of how we grow our soul. If everything was just perfect, our soul would have no need to grow. But we are here to become more of who we came here to be. There was a TED Talk some time back from a woman named Dr. Lucy Home. And she said, there are 3 secrets of resilient people. Number 1, they realize that stuff happens. Okay? You're a resilient person, you realize that stuff happens. And then number 2, if you are a resilient person, you focus on the things that you can change and somehow accept the things that you cannot. It's like the serenity prayer. Grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things that I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. So number 1 is to realize that things are going to happen in our lives, things that are unexpected perhaps, and then focus on what you can change and accept that which you cannot. And then thirdly is a constant question to ask yourself, is what I am thinking or doing helping me or harming me? You can start your day with that. You can have that come to you throughout the day from time to time. Maybe even set a timer. Is what I am thinking or doing helping me or harming me? See, we're moving straight from spiritual law. Our thoughts, our actions, as we know, create our life. That is one of our 5 basics of unity. God is everywhere present. God is within us. And the thoughts that we think, we are co-creating with God. The thoughts, the feelings that we have, the words that we speak. And then we move into this idea of prayer, this conscious awareness of God. And finally, we put feet on those prayers through the actions we take. We can't change spiritual law, but we can choose to apply it. There's opportunities always for character development. Our soul growth opportunities are wasted unless we act. We're here to grow our soul. Reverend Sue Sicking said this once. She said, each one of us has what appears to be 2 selves, our everyday outer self, with personality, and the one we were created to be, the self we are unfolding, bringing forth into manifestation with moment by moment living. Our purpose in life is to evolve and unfold our being to follow a perfect pattern. There may be some people who demonstrate an undeveloped character. I came across this quote from Ralph Waldo Emerson. The more he spoke of his honor, the faster we counted our spoons. I read this from Charles Roth. The truth is that you, as an individual, have control over your life and circumstances through your choice of thoughts and beliefs and attitudes and emotional responses. You, as an individual, have control over your life and your circumstances through your choice of thoughts, beliefs, attitudes, and emotional responses. You can't control what goes on in your life, certainly, but you can choose how you're going to respond versus react. And that takes practice. That takes living. That takes risking to live life more fully. That takes listening in prayer to get a clear idea of what we're being guided to do. And then stepping out into the darkness, or only knowing one step of the way. You've had that happen to you. I've had that happen to me where we did not know what our next steps were going to be. We couldn't follow the whole path. All we knew was we were being guided to set ourselves in a direction, to try something new, to maybe revisit an old hurt and choose to apply some forgiveness, maybe to try something new that we've never tried before. Maybe it's about looking within to say, what is it that I can do today to become more of who I came here to be? That's the theme I speak of so often. Who have you come here to be? Who have I come here to be? We don't have the answer. All we can do is develop an energy toward that answer. It's the legacy, perhaps, that we will leave when we are done with our earthly life here. People will get an idea of who we came here to be. General Arthur Trudeau said this once: his character is something each one of us must build for himself out of the laws of God and nature, the examples of others, and most of all, out of the trials and errors of daily life. Character is the thousands of small daily strivings to live up to the best that is in us. Character is the final decision to reject what is ever is demeaning to oneself or to others, and with confidence and honesty to choose the right. So, how do we develop character? See, as we deepen our awareness of our divine nature, we naturally express love and wisdom and compassion and the other divine qualities in our daily lives. I would guess that an opportunity for each one of us is to go into the silence and think about people or situations and ask ourselves, are we expressing as much love in this situation as we can, as much understanding? Are we expressing ourselves in ways of being judgmental or of showing good judgment? Are we being compassionate and forgiving, or are we having to need things our way? To go within and take a look at these things allows us to step back and assess how we are doing along our pathway. We want to naturally express love and wisdom and compassion and all the divine qualities that we have. But then, as soon as we think things are rolling right along, something comes up. We have some kind of diversity. It's a cosmic push, if you will. Or we look for divine order. Sometimes there's what we might call divine disorder. That's where trust and faith come in. Things don't seem to be working well. There's an illness or an accident. There's a financial situation or a relationship difficulty. Or maybe we're having some self-doubts. Whatever it is, there's a divine discontent. There's a discontent, certainly. But if we look more deeply, this can be a divine discontent if we choose to shift where we're focusing. We can't control everything that goes on in life. All we can control, and really we just take charge of it, is how we are going to react or respond. It does not always feel good. Many years ago, I made the choice to leave a church. I've been there about 5 years. Things seem to be going okay. My wife, Kathy, had enrolled in ministerial school, so she was in Kansas City. And I was by myself taking care of the church. But the board said they'd been hearing that people were no longer being inspired by me. Can you imagine that? Not being inspired by me? I thought to start with, it was up to them, at least, to choose to be inspirable. But then I came to realize that I was no longer a fit for them, and they were no longer a fit for me. And it could be that my energy wasn't the same. Maybe they picked up on that, and I didn't. But I made the choice to go ahead and leave. And even though Kathy was in ministerial school and I didn't have a job, and my millions of dollars of inheritance never came, so I didn't know exactly what I was going to do. But a few days after I left, out of the blue, as these things happen, a new and unexpected opportunity showed up. It was about transitional ministry training. Now, normally, transitional ministry training through the interim ministry uh, process only happens once or twice a year and only in one or two places in the whole country. Right after I left the church, like 3 weeks, there was going to be an interim ministry training 26 miles away from where I was. It was right around the corner. I went through the transitional ministry training, and then I went to advanced training over in Chicago. And now I was in demand. And now I learned so much about myself and about how best to serve others. It was a growing, in some ways humbling experience, but it helped me see things in a totally different way. It helped me see from the point of view of others more fully. And it also allowed me to be able to express my truth. It was certainly my opportunity for soul growth. We want to have an openness about our lives, a willingness. And sometimes we'll receive that spiritual nudge. Notice for yourselves what's working well in your life. See, we're always in the process of becoming. It might require some undoing, some releasing. It might require some relearning, some discovery. But let go. Let God be God in your life. Allow yourself to be willing to grow your soul, to be more aware of the spiritual nature of your being. We are always in the process of discovery of ourselves, of God in and as us. So the question for today is, how are you leading your life and developing your character? Is what you are thinking or doing helping you or harming you? Your character is a distinctive mark. It is the imprint on your soul. Recognize it, grow it, get in touch with your inner qualities and express them the best way that you can. Because in truth, you are a real character. God bless you.